Alright guys, a bit of an update on the XTS S10 build. So I've pretty much built it now, and I'll give you a quick overview of what I've done to it. So first thing here, I've got a 9i mod cheap servo, which I got off AliExpress, 35 kilograms. I think it cost me like 15 quid, 15 pounds. So pretty cheap. They're meant to be pretty good. I'm not using them before. Got a Hobbywing quick run 3652 3250 kV motor in here with a Surpass Hobby fan and heatsink. What I've also put in here is a Hobbywing 10BL 120 G2. Nice, cheap, easy ESC to use. You can see that I've mounted the power switch in the same place that it's mounted on the RTR, but I think that's probably not the right place to mount it, to be honest. It looks the cleanest, but not the most practical, because when the body's on, which is an absolute pain in the arse to get on and off, in my opinion, it's not great having the power there because you have to take the body off to operate it. So I'm going to have to look to see where to move that. I've also got a Flysky gyro receiver in this. I'm not the most experienced at building RCs, if I'm completely honest, but I'm quite happy with the job I've managed to do here. It looks relatively neat. I know those of you that will have a bit of OCD on your RCs probably think it's not the best job, but for me, I'll take that all day long. Let's talk about the body. Like I said in my previous video, I think the body is absolutely gorgeous, but it is a pain in more ways than one. So firstly, the decals, I think it's pretty well covered on YouTube already. Really hard to put on the Subaru decals on the side. I haven't even bothered to do that, if I'm honest with you, because I just don't have the time to do it. But I have put some decals here up on the front, and I've got a couple of random decals on the side, and I put some here at the back as well. So I'm quite happy with that. I actually think that looks quite nice. Now there's a few things to mention. So I've actually put the speed gear into this, and what I noticed is once I put the motor back in with the pinion, this particular dust cover here, that's meant to protect the spur and pinion from debris. If you screw it all the way in like it's meant to be, then it binds against the speed pinion. I don't know if it's just the speed pinion this happens with, or also the standard pinion, but what I found is if I just don't screw it in fully, then it doesn't bind. So I've kind of left it on there for the protection, but just be aware of that. General thing to mention here on this RC, everything is really quite tight and compact on this. There's really not that much space for anything. Now, a good example of this is firstly the ESC. It's a really tight fit in the side on the left. You can see the kind of side guards are bending outwards a little bit, and that's the same on the Omni Terminator as well. If you want to use a Hobbywing 10BL 120 G2, I was aware of that, so it wasn't a surprise. But also on the battery tray, because I've installed the aluminium servo mount, what I had to do is I had to basically reverse this bolt here. So because I had to do that, that actually has the potential to dig into the battery that goes in here. Now, if you're using the standard kind of 2200 mAh battery, it's not much of a problem because it doesn't hit that bit there. But if you're using the larger Rlaarlo battery with the 4400 mAh, which is a lot taller, what you'll find is it will fit in there really snugly. But if you have some bad landings or crashes, the battery will get damaged on that bolt there. So, you know, the last thing you want is a damaged battery from that bolt. So just be aware of that if in case you're using larger batteries and if you're using the aluminium servo mount. Now let's talk about the light system. I think in principle it's really cool, but honestly it's really not that ideal the way it connects up, and I find that the body is really annoying to put on, and that's me just having it at home. With these fender arches especially, it becomes even more trickier to put onto the RC, and you know, if it's muddy and wet and cold, the last thing you want to do is be fiddling around with that body and the way it latches onto the RC. It's in theory it's a good system, but in practice it's just not great to work with. Now, one more thing I think a lot of people might be interested in is how you get a aftermarket RC transmitter like a Flysky Noble NB4 Plus, which is what I've got here, to work with the light system. I haven't completely figured it out, but I have made a little bit of progress. So let me show you what I've done. If you go to RCReset on the Flysky Noble NB4 Plus, you go to RX interface protocol, and if you've got your light plugged into channel 3, then you need to set NPB to ppm, like so. And once you've done that, the lights do work. This is the front, and if I steer, what you can see is I can see the indicator on one side, but if I steer the other side, I don't see that indicator. And that indicator is actually the opposite side to where I'm steering, so it's not quite right. The lights at the back work fine, and when I brake, let me see if I can show you, the brake light actually works as well, and the exhaust light too. I'm just having an issue with that particular indicator light and them working properly. So if anyone knows how to sort those lights out on the Flysky Noble NB4 Plus, give me a shout, let me know in the comments, and I appreciate you watching.